from The Rock insulting Vin Diesel for being unprofessional on set, to Vin ironically referring to Dwayne as a little brother. This is everything you need to know about Vin Diesel and Dwayne Johnson's rocky relationship, starting with the incident that created the rift between the two actors. Vin and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson were a pretty electric duo in the Fast and Furious franchise, but a lot of times, being on-screen buddies doesn't mean they'll be close once the cameras stop rolling. And that is the obvious case between the two co-stars. So what happened between the duo that they turned so bitter towards each other? Well, the beef between the two dates back to 2016. They were filming the 8th installment of the long-running franchise, 2017's The Fate of the Furious. And it wasn't exactly a sunshine and rainbow situation between them. In fact, a source close to the production shared that the tension between them had been building for months. Damn, it must have been an awkward time on the movie set because of the beef brewing between them. Reportedly, Diesel had an issue with Johnson, mainly because he'd show up for production super late. And apparently there's much more to his nonchalant attitude, since sometimes he wouldn't show up at all and delay the entire production, while other sources hinted at Diesel showing the very same behavior. Anyway, their feud came into the spotlight thanks to Johnson's Instagram post. He had a lot to say about his Fast and Furious co-stars, like how certain unnamed co-stars were candy because of their lack of professionalism. Damn, he did not hold back. Dwayne stated in his now thankfully deleted post that while his female co-stars were always amazing, the male co-stars are a whole different story. He added that some conduct themselves as true professionals, while others don't. So does the story have an amicable ending? Yes, but only after Dwayne reposted a statement regarding the feud, and this time there wasn't any swearing included. Rather, it framed the tension in a much more healthy manner. The 50-year-old actor explained that the family's bound to have differences of opinion and fundamental core beliefs, and clarified that he likes conflict when it's followed by a great resolution. In fact, the star was raised on healthy conflict and wholeheartedly welcomes it. Plus, like all families, conflict only improves bonds. Anyway, Dwayne emphasized that the most important thing for his FA co-stars is obviously delivering an incredible movie to the world. Okay, so that means the conflict's been buried, right? Well, The Rock did say that he regretted his post, but then added that people agree with what he said. And by people, I mean certain Fast and Furious co-stars. Say what? Well, in the words of Johnson himself, his controversial post caused a firestorm, but it also gave the crew a chance to thank the star. The former WWE star shared that every single crew member either quietly thanked me or sent me a note, which had to mean only one thing: they were rooting for Rock, right? Or am I looking into it too much? Anyway, the point is, Johnson was prepared to take responsibility for his actions, or rather his words. In an interview with Vanity Fair, he commented on how he shouldn't have shared the Instagram post, mainly because it goes against his DNA. He also doesn't usually share things like that, and prefers to keep it under wraps, away from the public. But wait, the actor also confirmed a really important milestone of the Diesel-Dwayne feud. Dwayne got to meet with Vin Diesel to discuss their ongoing feud. And guess what? Their issues were boiled down to the simple fact that both actors are on two separate ends of the spectrum, and basically agreed to leave things at that. Hey, at least he's willing to address the elephant in the room, right? But what about Diesel? What's his side of the story? Well, he tried to do damage control, though it took him almost a year. In April 2017, Diesel spoke up about the relationship and smartly downplayed any lingering tension. Diesel explained that things were simply blown out of proportion, which wasn't the Jumanji actor's intention at all. But wait, things got messy pretty quickly, thanks to Vin's statement about how he's always protected the franchise. And even Dwayne? Not just that, but added that Dwayne's only got one Vin in his life, with only one big brother in this film world, and that's Diesel. How did The Rock respond? Well, he didn't take too kindly to the comment, and retorted that he only has one brother in this world, his stepbrother. But don't worry, after the success of Hobbs and Shaw, their beef simmered down. Johnson even posted a video on Instagram where he thanked Diesel for supporting the film. I don't know about you, but that spells out progress to me, meaning that the Dwayne Diesel detente had officially started. But don't get too excited, people. The detente period was short-lived at best, and all it took was a 2018 Rolling Stone interview with Johnson. Have you ever wanted to know why the actors never got along with each other on the Fast and Furious set? According to The Rock, their fundamental difference in philosophies might have had something to do with it. They just didn't see eye to eye when it came to the best approach for movie making and collaborating. Plus, the actor was having some serious doubts about rejoining the franchise. He confessed he held no ill will for Diesel, but the interviewer painted a different picture entirely. Apparently, The Rock finished off his statement with a sly laugh. What do you think? Does his behavior sound a bit weird? Now, here's the deal with the Fast and Furious patriarch. He's all about adopting a classic tough love method for Johnson, specifically in the case of his portrayal of his Fast and Furious character, Luke Hobbs. He shared in an interview back in July 2021 that he felt it was his duty to help the audience get used to Johnson's presence on the big screen, because he went from a pro wrestler to an actor and wasn't sure if people would get used to the sudden change. Diesel added that he could give a lot of tough love, not on a Filoni-esque level, but Vin's all for doing whatever it takes to get perfect performances in the works he's producing. But wait, what did Dwayne think of these comments? Did he let them slide? The actor spoke with Vanity Fair for the magazine's November cover and addressed the issue head on. So, according to The Rock, he's never had a theater background and was raised in an environment that was worlds apart from Diesel's. But did that ever stop him? No. Johnson would go into every project and give it 100%. And if he ever felt like there was anything that was lacking or needed to be taken care of, he'd address it immediately. Now, guess how Dwayne reacted to Vin's comments? He laughed hard, like everybody else who had seen his interview in the Men's Health magazine, and added that somewhere Filoni is laughing too. Yikes! Well, after this, it was obvious that the conflict between the two Hollywood stars wasn't going to die out anytime soon, and the co-stars' relationship remained the same all the way into 2021. Like, just look at Vin's 2021 Instagram post. He urged Johnson to rejoin the franchise with his family and explained that his presence was needed for the 10th installment of the series. Plus, it's something that he's promised to Pablo, aka Paul Walker. Vin really buttered the actor up and went as far as to add that he's family. In fact, his kids even call him Uncle Dwayne. Johnson responded directly to Diesel's social media post after some time, and he didn't bother sugarcoating his words. He was quite surprised by Diesel's statement and stressed that he doesn't have any plans to rejoin the franchise anytime soon. Also, don't get me started on how disappointed he was that Diesel brought his children and Paul into the equation. He called it a blatant example of Vin's manipulation and was super upset that the 54-year-old actor ruined things, mainly because the Red Notice star's goal was to end his journey with the Fast and Furious franchise with gratitude and grace, something that's proving to be very difficult now. Maybe one day the two will finally set their differences aside, but until then, that was everything you needed to know about Vin Diesel and The Rock's relationship. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.